Should I get my teacher's voice out? I used to be an English teacher, so if you are naughty, you will go on the naughty chair. Okay, so, zdrasti. My name's Ruby. I'm originally from Northern Ireland. I've lived in Scotland for 11 years, so if you can't understand me, that's the reason why. I've lived in Bulgaria for over 3 years, so I've got a lot of stories to tell, but I've picked out the most random and the most weird just for you. So, this was my first weekend ever in Sofia. I actually came here for the New Year celebrations just for the weekend. I was living in Istanbul and not having a very good time, but that's a different story for a different event. But I needed a break, I needed a holiday, and Sofia was the cheapest flight. So, but the minute I arrived, I just fell in love. It was just so relaxed, but I suppose after 5 months in Istanbul, anywhere would feel chilled out. So, on the 1st of December, after this amazing night, I went back to Istanbul, quit my job, and bought a one-way ticket back to Sofia to start a new year and a new life. I actually spent one full year teaching English here, but then I was offered an apartment in Paris, and it kind of appealed to my, that's not me, by the way. It appealed to my writer's heart, and so I left Sofia and went to Paris. I lasted in Paris for 6 months, pretty much just got fat and poor. But during that time, a friend actually asked me what life was like in Sofia. And while I was talking to her and explaining, I realized how much I missed the city and how much I missed the food. But not all of it. Sorry to any vegetarians, but that's eyeballs. I accidentally ordered a deboned lamb's head. Advice, don't. Unless you're into eating brain and cheeks and eyes. Anyway, so where am I? Yeah, I returned to Sofia in September 2015. And I was homeless, but I had, luckily I had really good friends who let me stay with them. They lived in Levski G. So if any of you know it, we can bond over that later. But while I was living in Levski G, I kind of bonded a little bit too closely with the stray dogs, and needed to get a rabies shot. By the way, excuse the hairy legs. It was September. Anyway, I decided that it was time to get a place of my own, and thankfully it was still a time when apartments advertised on Foreigners and Friends weren't €900. And I managed to get something pretty quickly. I also managed to get something else pretty quickly. So this little monster was, she was crying at my back door in November, in the rain, in the cold, and I just opened the door and she climbed up my leg, and I was like, nah, shit. So started my life as a crazy cat lady. And now I have 2 of the fluff balls. I'm constantly covered in cat hair, but I wouldn't change it for the world. I love them. Anyway, I'm going to fast forward a year, November 2016, and it's time to renew my residency permit. Everyone loves that story. But I'm sure you've already heard it before, so I'm not going to go into that. I'm just going to say it was my 4th visit to that mysterious building. And I was turned away once again. And to cool off, I decided to go for a bit of a walk, which was kind of cut short. While crossing the Mary Louisa, I was knocked down on a pedestrian crossing. buy a car, and also it was National Pedestrian Day. It's my luck. So this is me in the back of an ambulance, which is basically just a box on wheels on my way to Beograd. Thankfully, as you can see, everything was fine. I didn't die. And I was alive to face another day and another mini disaster. So this was actually just 2 months ago. I was on holiday and my friends were cat sitting, and the building's electrical box went on fire. The smoke traveled up through the building, through the air vents. Fire trucks were there. Fire brigade opened all the doors. The cats escaped. The cats came back. But my poor friend, well, she's not here tonight, but I thank her so much because she had to deal with all this shit while I was in Glasgow visiting friends and sobbing down the phone to her. But again, thank God there was no serious damage. But my point is that despite all of these disasters, dog bites, crazy drivers, dodgy electrics, I still love this city, and I still love Sofia, and I still love the country. I love the food, I love the wine, but mainly because this country also gave the world this. And it's truly the best thing that you'll ever see. And my person to hit the button is getting wine. So I'm going to leave you with the best song that I think has ever come out of Bulgaria. Enjoy!